Welcome to the Explainer. You know those super dense technical guides? Well, today we're cracking open one from Oracle and turning it into a simple strategic playbook. By the end of this, you're not just going to understand how the retail payment system works, you'll see how to make it work for your business.
So, let's kick things off with a question that every single global retailer has to deal with. How do you get your cash register to talk to your payment terminal securely and have it work the same way everywhere in the world? I mean, whether you're in Ohio or Osaka, it's got to just work. So, let's dig into how Oracle solves this massive puzzle.
Okay, so at the very heart of this whole system, you've got two main players. First up is Xstore. Think of it as the brain of the whole checkout operation. It's the point of sale, it's managing the sale, the inventory, all that stuff. And then you've got EFTLink. This is the magic piece. It's like a universal translator. It takes whatever Xstore says and translates it into a language that basically any payment terminal anywhere can understand.
All right, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the puzzle pieces themselves. Then, the rules of how they work together. We'll check out how it works around the world, how the features have evolved over time, and wrap it all up with your strategic takeaway.
Okay, first things first, the retail payments puzzle. Let's get really clear on what Xstore and EFTLink are and why their relationship is so incredibly important.
So here's the deal in a nutshell. EFTLink, that's the powerhouse. It's got all the cool payment features packed into its API. You know, the stuff that lets you do everything you need at checkout. Then there's Xstore. It's what uses those features to create that smooth experience for the customer. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. The version of Xstore you're running actually decides which of those awesome EFTLink features you can use right out of the box.
All right, let's move on to the rules of engagement. I mean, how do these two actually work together? Getting this part right is absolutely key to having a system that's stable and just works.
Okay, listen up, because if you only take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this quote right here. This is the golden rule straight from Oracle. Never use an earlier version of EFTLink with a later version of Xstore. Seriously, don't do it. It's a one-way ticket to a world of compatibility problems.
So, what does that golden rule really mean in practice? Well, think of it like this. EFTLink is backwards compatible. That means a newer EFTLink server can totally work with an older version of Xstore. No problem. But, and this is a big but, Xstore is not forwards compatible. An old Xstore just can't use the shiny new features from a newer EFTLink release without a bunch of custom work. So, the bottom line, you really want to match your versions. And, oh yeah, a little pro tip, keep an eye on your Java versions, your JREs. If they don't match up between Xstore and EFTLink, you could be in for some headaches.
Okay, so let's zoom out a bit. We're talking payments around the world. Because this whole system isn't just built for one country, right? It has to work everywhere. So how does it do that?
Well, the way it handles all that global diversity is actually pretty clever. EFTLink uses these things called cores. You can think of a core as a specialized plugin or an adapter that's built specifically for different regions and different payment providers. So it's not a one-size-fits-all mess, it's a tailored solution for wherever you are in the world.
And you can see that specialization right here. For the US region, you've got cores for providers like AJB5Pay, Cayenne, and others. Over in Europe, you're looking at different ones like Six Payment Services or WorldPay. And then for everyone else, there are these big international cores like OPI Retail that are designed to be super flexible.
Let's actually zoom in on that OPI Retail core for a second. It's kind of the most feature-packed international option. And by looking at it, we can really see the story of how new payment functions get added over time.
Check this out. You can see that basic card payments were supported pretty early on. But then, as the world changed, you see e-wallet payments pop up in version 19.0. Then Pay by Link comes along in version 21.0. And look at this last one, pre-authorization. It's available on EFTLink as a version 24.0, but Xstore, well, Xstore doesn't support it natively. Not yet, anyway. This is a perfect example of that version dependency we're talking about. The feature exists, but you can't use it until Xstore catches up.
And this leads us to the big question, right? The feature evolution. Why does any of this matter? Why should a business leader or a strategist care about all these version numbers?
Because it's not just about technical updates, right? This is a story. It's the story of retail itself adapting to how we, the customers, actually want to pay. Every one of these updates reflects a real shift in the world, from just swiping a card to tapping our phones to paying with a link someone sends us. This timeline lays it out perfectly. You start with the foundation back in version 15.0, just getting the basics like sales and refunds to work seamlessly. Then, boom, version 19.0 hits, and e-wallets are here. That's a huge shift towards digital. Then in 21.0, you get even more modern stuff like Pay by Link. And now with 24.0, you're seeing advanced things like pre-authorization and private label credit cards showing up in EFTLink. It's like a preview of what's coming next for retail.
Okay, so let's boil all this down. What is your strategic takeaway? What does this all mean for the future of your retail business?
It really comes down to 3 key things. Number 1, compatibility is strategy. Your Xstore version isn't just a number. It literally defines what you can and can't offer your customers. If you're on an old version, you're missing out on e-wallets, pay by link, you name it. Number 2, know your core. You have to pick the right geographical core for your operations, one that supports the way your customers actually pay. And finally, number 3, think about upgrades differently. An upgrade isn't just a tech project, it's a business decision that unlocks new ways to sell and makes your customers happier.
Look, at the end of the day, all this information, this whole guide, it's really just a tool. It's a tool to help you answer what might be the single most important question you can ask about your tech stack. Is your payment system ready for tomorrow's customer?